All right, interesting highlights. Serie A games played on Monday night. Busola is live on the program here with me today. Busola, you take a look at the Serie A, and it seems Atalanta wants to give everyone a good run for their money. They sit top of the league at the moment. And I was asking someone recently, I said, does Atalanta cut across to you as true contenders or perhaps pretenders?
I think the Serie A is one of the leagues it's really unpredictable. We've seen what has happened in the last 3 years. Napoli has won it. Few teams, Inter, AC Milan, Juventus, they've been fighting for the Scudetto. I love the fact that at least 6 to 7 teams, even Roma, they could also be in the bearing as well. 6 to 7 teams, unlike the Premier League where it's just going to be 3 teams, maybe City, Liverpool and Chelsea, or with Arsenal included. So I think I like the fact that Atlanta is top of the league. Inter is chasing them. We also
when it came to spare, just 3 points behind.
Just 3 points. And you also know that Atlanta, they've got the current African Footballer of the Year, Lukman, who is also doing very well for them. Okay. And they're also doing very well in the Champions League as well. So I think the scenario is going to be probably in January, where there's going to be lots of fixtures, and also towards the end of the Champions League, where teams would try to get points, and there's going to be injuries. Just like you said at the beginning of the program, like teams are getting depleted now. Like for Arsenal, Saka is going to be out for maybe 6 weeks. That's
true.
So I think it's going to boil down to injuries, and we're going to see who exactly can really fight for the Scudetto. I see Atlanta giving it a fight, but it's going to be a traditional team, but still winning, maybe Inter.
The Serie A seems to be taking a lot of attention now, especially from the continent of Africa, because we've seen the Serie A produce the last 2 African Player of the Year back-to-back. And it's looking like Italian football is getting good, even better, for African players.
So when you look at signings this summer, look at a team like AC Milan. They've signed a lot of players that were in Chelsea that were fringe players or were not going to get opportunities. In Chelsea, they signed them. Look at Napoli as well. They signed players from Manchester United. So I think it boils down to the level of signing, the quality of players. These are international players. Look at Billy Gilmour, for example. He plays for Napoli. Okay. He was playing for Brighton. He's a Scottish international. He has over 30-something caps for Scotland, and he's playing in the Serie A. So I think sometimes it's the quality and the level of players in the league that determines how competitive the league is. So this has made it very competitive. Also, you know that the likes of Ronaldo, they played for Juve as well. So it's really a league that one should record with, and I think they are among the top 5 leagues in Europe as well. So
I would be surprised if very soon I begin to see a huge influx of African players to Italy, if you consider how well Nigerian players have been doing in that league. Samuel Eto'o, of course, played for Inter Milan, and he did so well in that part of Europe. Talking about Nigerian and African players, we've got live on the program now a Nigerian player who currently plays in the elite division in Slovenia. Moses Barnabas is live on the program. Moses, glad to have you on the show. We're just talking about African players who are doing so well in Italy. Are you looking forward to playing in the Serie A someday?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me. Honestly, I'm looking forward to playing in the top 5 leagues. This is my dream, and this is my aim, this is my goal. Yeah.
Okay, talking about you wanting to play in the top flight division, you're currently in Slovenia. Talk us through what the Slovenian league is like for you since you joined.
Well, at first, joining Slovenian league, it's kind of a little bit difficult for me, joining, because you need to try to understand with the players, try to understand with the system, with what they want. Quite different from Croatia, So it took me some time to adapt, and now it's much more easier for me to play and to enjoy my game. Yeah.
Okay. Not many persons know you, really. As a matter of fact, I had to really get to check up a few data and statistics about you. Tell us, what was football like for you back here in Nigeria before you moved to the diaspora? Where did you play in Nigeria? How did you move to Europe?
Well, I started with, because I lived in the barracks, my dad.
Okay, it's a live situation. Hopefully, we can reconnect with Barnabas on the program today. Moses Barnabas. Busola, we've got a lot of Nigerian players.
I was going to say
across the Balkan region.
I was going to say Moses is a very, very good player. I must confess. He plays for Olympic Ljubljana. I've watched him twice live. He's a very, very aggressive defensive midfielder. He knows how to use the ball very well, long passes, short passes. I scouted him about a year ago, and he's played against a couple of Nigerian players in Slovenia. And I must say kudos to you guys for bringing players in leagues like Slovenia for the world to say, because they also need to be promoted. And to be honest, I see him making a very good move shortly, because he's also playing in the Conference League, where a lot of clubs can easily
get to spot him. I've seen footage of him, and he reminds me of Mikelubi. The way he shields the ball, the way he very passes the ball,
aggressive.
His vision, you know, for defense splitting passes.
Yeah, he's very aggressive. He has forward vision passes, just like you said. He's a typical midfielder that doesn't pass back. He goes forward, which are rare among African players, because they always believe African players are not technically good. So I would say, I think making a move to Italy could probably be a Serie A or a Serie B team very soon. And because he plays for a big team in Slovenia, I think, and he plays in the Conference League where everyone can see him, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a move even in this January.
Okay, Moses is back on the program. Moses, I was asking you to talk us through what it was like for you in Nigeria before you traveled to Europe.
Yeah, to be honest, it's really difficult, you know, with the weather, going for scouting programs, and like the economic stuff like that, you know, trying to get money in order to use transportation to go for a scouting program, to get picked and then get selected to fly abroad to start a new life there, you know. It's really tough also as well, trying to get some boots, trying to get kids, you know, and trying to get some food to eat. Honestly, it's really tough, right from Lungi Barracks all the way to J1, and then I was so lucky, and I thank God for helping me out before, and then I moved to Croatia. That was where I started my whole football story from.
Okay, talking about how you started in Nigeria, what inspired you to play football? Let me start with that. And who would you say is your role model? Personally, I've seen some of your clips, and I think you're like a copy-paste of Mikelubi.
Yeah, what really inspires me is my family, first and foremost. I would say my family, especially my mom, because I know the struggle she passed through morning and night, you know, trying to provide food for us to eat, school fees for us to go to school, you know. And I would say my favorite player is N'Golo Kante, now in Al Nassr, in Al Ittihad, yeah. But it's really nice because I also watch Mikelubi, one of our legends, and I really saw so many on how we calm the game, how we passes forward, how he finds option, even if it's really difficult at that moment, you know. I watch him most a lot, you know, and it's really something really nice. I would say I learn a lot, really from him.
Okay. Well, as a defensive midfielder, Barnabas, how would you describe your playing style, and what aspect of your game are you still working on?
That is why most of the times I watch more of Chelsea and more of Man City, especially more of Man City because of the way they play, more of possession game, more of playing forward, creating chances, trying to find solutions, and, you know, keeping the ball most especially. This is what I love, one thing I love, tiki-taka, you know. This is something I learned from my academy, from Barracks, you know, and this has really helped me a lot, trying to keep the ball, trying to find solutions, most especially the goal, and trying to help my team to win.
And if you have a chance to represent Nigeria at any level, would that be an opportunity you'll be looking forward to?
Yeah, 100%. This would be a huge opportunity for me, a huge big step for me. So much looking forward to play for my national team, wearing my national team jersey, and then representing my country, Nigeria.
Okay, Moses Barnabas, he's a player who plays in the elite division in Slovenia. He's a defensive midfielder, a fantastic player, no doubt. Live on the show today from Abuja. Thank you so much for being a part of the program. Hopefully, we'll get to, get you back on this program again to talk us through what it is like playing in the Balkan region in Europe, where we've got a lot of Nigerian players are doing so well. Thank you, Moses Barnabas, for being on the show today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of the likes of Moses Barnabas. I think he's a lucky lad to have been able to find his way to Europe. We've got lots of him in Nigeria.
Yeah, I think now it's really an opportunity to get a lot of talents. You've worked closely with the Super Eagles, and I can say you know the level of talent, you know how competitive it is to get to the Super Eagles. But if an opportunity could come for players like these, maybe in age grade tournaments, it's just 21. We would probably have, he doesn't fit in for that 20, but he could probably fit in for like an under 23.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in the next year or something like that. So I think players like this should be given a look in. There are a lot of players in Slovenia. I've been to Slovenia like 3 times in this year. I've gone to watch football there. They're quality players. We've got Abraham Nwankwo, who is with NK Domzale, is a very, very good defender. We've got a couple of players also that have even moved from Slovenia to the Serie as well. So I think as journalists, I would say thank you very much for promoting players like this, because they really don't get the platform where people get to see them. And I must say thank you to you guys to TVC for bringing players in, I wouldn't say obscure league, but I'd say lesser developed league for people to know them. And yeah, it's a very big thank you to you guys.
All right, the year 2024 is winding down gradually, and yes, we're looking back at what the year has been like for Nigerian sports. Football has been a taste of both the good, the bad, the ugly. Of course, we got to the finals of the AFCON. That was a high point for Nigerian football. The World Cup qualifiers started on a shaky note. The players have promised that in March next year, they will beat anybody to get Nigeria's World Cup chase back on track. The AFCON qualifiers came, the Eagles saw, and they conquered. But football, that's just for football. Let's talk about other sports on the show. We've reviewed badminton, we've reviewed cycling, we've reviewed a number of other sports. It's time now to take a look and beam our light on the sport of weightlifting. And we've got on the show today the president of the Nigeria Weightlifting Federation, Abdul Ibrahim, live on the program. Glad to have you on the show today. Let's quickly take a look at what it was like for Nigeria and weightlifting in the outgoing year 2024.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, go on, Mr. President.
Yeah, good evening. How are you today? Weightlifting had, for the year 2024 had been a very eventful year for us. We coming from the African Games to qualifiers for the Olympics, then after the Olympics to the competition, the competition we just concluded recently at the National Stadium, where more than 18 states participated, with police and other clubs participated. It's been a very eventful year for us.
Okay, Mr. President, President Weightlifting Federation, let me ask you this. At the start of the year, I remember you told us what your programs were like, your plans for the year. To what percentage were you able to achieve your aims and your objectives and your goals for weightlifting in Nigeria in 2024?
Okay, starting from the African Games, you know what we did at the African Games. We won the highest medals for the federation at the African Games, and then preparation jumped to the Olympics. We qualified 2 athletes for the Olympics, and at the Olympics, we were very close to the medal, and but unfortunately, we couldn't pick up any medal at the Olympics. And so, for us, because we were not at the last Olympics before this one, is a step forward for us. And we are now working for the future, we are intentional in what we want to achieve, so that we can prepare the new, we can prepare for the next, for Los Angeles 2028. Not only that, we also want to build the next champions that will represent Nigeria. For us, grassroots is very key. We want to work on, we want to see how we can replace the age ones, the elite ones. Not only replace them, but you know it's not going to be very easy. It's hard work, and so for all these associations know what is expected of them, and we are working very, very hard. We have athletes now. We just came back from the just concluded World Championship in Bahrain, where Sarah Matthew won 2 bronze for the country. It's not really easy in a competition where you have more 120 nations competing, and to come up the third, and so this, and she's just a new, this is her first outing, so she's a new athlete, and that's what we did. So what we wanted to do was to introduce new athletes so that we can expose them. You know, Didi Onome from Lagos State was also at the World Championship, and it was a good one.
Okay, let me bring on now the Chairman, National Sports Commission, Alhaji Shehu Diko. You just talked about the Olympics, so I want to bring him on that note, because we understand that the chairman has been talking about preparations for the Olympics, and he's got a lot of plans for that in terms of preparations for the games. He's told all lookers to listen. I've seen a lot of press releases where it says preparations for the next Olympics in Los Angeles will start now. Okay, Chairman, National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, glad to have you live on the program today. If you can hear me, talk to us about your meeting with the president of Nigeria. We saw pictures, we saw videos. You had a meeting with the Jagaban himself. What were you telling him? What was he telling you? I mean, what is the presidential plan for Nigerian sport going into the new year? Okay, it's a live situation. We can reconnect with Shehu Diko on the program. I have information that he's trying to connect to the show right now. All right, let me go back to the president of the Nigeria Weightlifting Federation. It's been a busy year for you and the Weightlifting Federation. What should Nigerians look forward to in 2025?
Yeah, we want to start, first of all, we want to start building from the base. We are not going to look at competitions a lot like what we did last time, because we had a couple of qualifiers we had to attend. They were compulsory qualifiers. Now we want to build from the scratch. We want to build the next champions. We want to build the next Olympians. Commonwealth Games is around in 2025. We want to see how we can represent the country and do the country proud at the Commonwealth Game. And so in doing so, we are also conscious of the home ground. And so for whom we will have series of competition in the next year, series of competition, national open competitions, maybe between now and March next year, so that we can discover new athletes. There is a very bright year coming. 2025 is going to be a very exciting year for us. Well, Nigeria being the biggest black nation in the world, I mean, we know we've got very strong people in this country, and the assumption is because we are strong, we are black, we've got energy, the assumption is we should naturally do so well in weightlifting. In fact, when you consider the strength of the average Nigerian out there, the assumption would be that we should be winning all the gold medals in weightlifting at the Olympics. What is the Federation doing in terms of talent discovery for weightlifting? You know, I just told you about Sarah Matthew that went for the World Championship and won silver, 2 silver. This is her first outing. So you understand, she had never represented Nigeria before. She had never, even her state, she never represented any state. We discovered her. We had coaches that were looking after her. We saw a lot of prospects in her, just like many other athletes. We have many athletes now. We have crops of new athletes that we are working on, in addition to the elite ones that we have. The Rafia 2 of the world, who is one of the first 10 in the world. We have more than 4 to 5 athletes that are ranked within the first 10 in the world. So now we want to build. We want to have what's it called, coaching program for our coaches, so that at least they can be up to date with the current trend of what's going on in the sport. And not only that, we also want to expose our athletes to series of competition. In almost all the competition, we want to expose them. The male athletes are also coming up. Before now, the female athletes are the ones doing us proud. Like Ididium is one of the strongest athletes we have now in Nigeria. He will be ranked. He will be ranked within the first 10 in the world in the next competition coming up in Mauritius at the senior championship.
President, Nigeria Weightlifting Federation, Abdul Ibrahim, live on the program from Abuja. Thank you, and the best of luck to you and the Nigeria Weightlifting Federation for 2025. All right, as we hit home stretch, absolutely. As we hit home stretch on the program today, let's tell you that Tyson Fury is getting some advice from boxing promoters in Britain. He's been told to go fight Anthony Joshua. Of course, Tyson Fury lost the second time to Alexander Usyk just at the weekend. It was the second loss on the bounce against the Ukrainian. And he's been advised, come on, guy, you can beat this Ukrainian. Go and fight your fellow Briton, Anthony Joshua. Let's see who is the biggest boxer in Great Britain. If Tyson Fury will take that, we do not know. There's always been that rivalry between him and Anthony Joshua. Maybe this is just the time for them to settle scores and, let's get to know who is the big man in Britain as far as heavyweight boxing is concerned. Let's take a look at some of the statistics when Fury fought against Alexander Usyk at the weekend. It was a unanimous decision in favor of Alexander Usyk. But Tyson Fury has told all lookers to listen that he fought well. He did well enough to win that fight. But if you take a look at the stats again, you confirm that, yes, Tyson Fury threw more punches, 509 of them. But unfortunately for him, he only landed 144 of them, which was a paltry 28% of punches landed. On the flip side, Usyk threw fewer punches. That's a man who knew what he wanted, knew what he was doing, and got his job done. He threw fewer punches at 423, but landed a lot more punches at 177, which was about 42.7% of his punches landed. Usyk had the advantage, or rather, Tyson Fury had the advantage if you take a look at the tail of the tape. He's younger, he's 36, he's taller, he has the height, 6.9 feet, he has a longer reach at 85 inches, but then all that will count for nothing as Usyk really capitalized on his own advantage, considering the fact that he's lighter at 226 kg as against Fury's 281 kg before the fight. All right. Before we say goodbye on the show, Busola, what are you doing with young footballers in Nigeria?
We've come around to scout the very best of talents. We were at the Obasa Games. We just want an opportunity whereby we can help as many young talents as possible, get them abroad, get them to Europe to start their career. It's very, very difficult showcasing yourself from Nigeria. But over the years, we've brought clubs, we've brought club directors, we've brought scouts, we've brought agents, and hopefully we are looking at a bigger picture. We're speaking to a couple of teams in Germany, probably have an academy in Lagos State whereby there could be an influx of talents coming directly from the state to go to Germany, things like that. I think we have a lot of plans in the pipeline, and hopefully coming the new year, we could achieve some of these plans for young talents in Lagos State. Talking about young talent, what are the age grade of players you like to work with? We work basically with under 19, because that is where we believe they can easily be taught the basic techniques of football. Yeah, basically under 19, yeah. All right, Busola is a football intermediary. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Always a pleasure, I promise. All right, that will be the size of the show. Many thanks for watching. It's been the Christmas Eve edition of the program TVC Sports Desk. Many thanks for watching. Let me say Merry Christmas to everyone out there. Well, I'll be knocking on some doors tomorrow.
to get myself entertained. Many thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.
TVC Sport Desk.